Alright, in this Unity tutorial, I will be showing you how to shake your camera just like this. This method is highly customizable, won't require you to download any packages, and also will work in both Unity 3D and 2D. So, let's get right into it. All I have in my project currently is a camera and a player. The player is mainly for demonstration purposes, but the first question we really have is, how do you shake the camera? Well, as you might imagine, we can do that with a script. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new script here. I'm going to call it camera shake. And then going into the script, I'm going to take out these two lifecycle methods, and I'm going to create three public fields. One called shake duration, which I will just set to 1 for now. Another one for shake magnitude, and another public float called damping speed. The duration is how long we want the camera to shake. The magnitude is how much we want it to shake, and damping for if we want to reduce how much it shakes over time. Then we want to make a coroutine, which will allow us to shake the camera over time, but still allow other scripts to continue executing. And we're going to have two local variables, one to keep track of the time that has passed, and one where we just get the initial position of the camera. And then we want a while loop, and we're just going to say that we'll continue to execute until we reach shake duration. Every step of this loop, we're going to recalculate the magnitude, which will be the product of shake magnitude and then the damping speed times the amount of time it's passed. Also, make sure to make damping speed negative here because we want it to decrease the power of magnitude over time. Then we want to calculate both the X and Y offset, where essentially we're just going to pick a random position multiplied by the magnitude. So every step it'll pick a random place, and that's what actually gives the shakiness effect. Then we want to move the camera to whatever random offsets we chose. So we're going to assign its position to a new vector 3, where we just say add the X offset to the X, Y to the Y. Then for Z, we'll just pass it in. If you're doing 3D and you want to shake it in the Z direction too, you could make a float Z offset, but that's up to you. Then we also want to keep track of the elapsed time, so we'll just add time.delta time. And then we want to wait till the next frame, and you can do that with yield return null. And then finally, after we're done shaking the camera, we want to bring it back to its original position, so we can just assign that variable back to its position. Then we also need a method to actually trigger this coroutine. I'll just call it trigger shake, and all we'll do is just say start coroutine shake. Now, back in our editor, we need a way to actually trigger this. So I'm just going to make one more script, shaker. Very simple. We're going to take off the start method. I'm going to add a reference to the camera shake object here. And then all I'm going to do is say in the update function, if the player presses space, then we'll trigger the camera shake method. Alright, back into your editor again. Let's drag the camera shake script onto the main camera. Then I'm going to create an empty game object and put the shaker itself for triggering it onto it. And I'll pass in that camera script. And now let's test it out. And it works quite nicely. And you can essentially change whatever you want. And the reason I made those fields public is now we can test it out during play mode. Like if we want it to only shake for a small amount of time, we could reduce the duration. If we want it to shake a lot, we could increase the magnitude. If we want it to rapidly decrease its power, we could make the damping variable very high. It's entirely up to you. The sky is the limit here. But yeah, that essentially covers how to do camera shake in Unity. If you have any questions or need help or anything, leave a comment. Also, if this video was helpful, like, subscribe. Other than that, have a great day. Peace.